We're gonna take y'all up with the drone right now. We're gonna fly over the job. This is the day of riding on the rubber tire cutter, if I remember. No, this was the day before. Yeah, this was the day before on the rubber tire cutter where y'all saw we drove it in there. This is how deep it was before then. This is how much water was all around and everything like that. So we just flew. I just put it up in the air, and at this point we were concerned if we could even get to the equipment, if the equipment was underwater at this point. So right in the middle of your screen, that's the high line. I know I ain't showed y'all the high line, but that's just to the right of the levee. You can see how all the levee system up there was underwater. And then we're coming up into the campgrounds. I was having a difficult time flying the drone because I couldn't see the roads because of all the water. So I got lost a couple of times getting in there. But this is the campground area, and I was panning around checking on the camp area for those people because they couldn't get in here this day either. They didn't leave a boat far enough out, I believe is what it was. But this is that camp area that I was showing y'all the other day. This is some more of their campers and stuff, and y'all can see the water all starting to encroach on their property there. So these people, we had to go through their private property to get to our equipment, and I believe that was a pond that they have on their property right there. I get lost right here. This is one of the places I get lost. So y'all can just see all the, it's just super wooded, hard to see kind of where you're going. So if I remember right, I fly all the way back out to the front right here. Trying to see here what I was doing is I was looking for this high line, and whenever I found the high line I was like, okay, I know where I'm at now. And y'all can see all of the water all over. I mean, it's everywhere. it was crazy deep. It was I'd say 7 feet or so deep, foot deep of water where we were at with the rubber tire cutter, the deepest spot before we went in there with the rubber tire cutter. That big body that you see in front of you, that is the creek itself, overflown. That was one of the things. I think I mentioned this in another video. All this right here is where we originally started, and I flew back here, and I knew where I was at whenever I got to this point here. But you can see everything that we still have to cut, all the trees that are blown down, all that kind of stuff. But I think I said this before in another video, but I can't really remember. Hindsight is always 20/20, and I was asked if I thought we should have got out already. You know, if we should have got our equipment out to a higher ground. You can see the equipment coming up in front of you, and yeah, I believe we should have. Looking back now, yeah, I believe we should have got our equipment to a different location, but there was multiple factors into the reasoning of why we didn't get it out. The main reason being is we ran out of time. The companies wanted us hauling wood to the very last minute, and then whenever the trucks all got hung up in the mills and we had to get out, this was the best place we could find. But right there where you see Mickey's loader is on the right side right there. Matt's is on the left. The people that own this property, not the property of the timber that we're cutting, but the property leading up to it, they've hunted this area. They've leased it from the timber company for like 22 years, and they said they've never seen water get to where Mickey's loader is right there. You can see a deer stand right in the middle, and then just to the top left, well, now in the very middle of your screen, there's another deer stand. But they never seen water get that deep there. So we were all under the assumption that we were going to be okay there. But y'all saw everywhere in the back there where we cut the day before the hurricane. You can see how deep the water gets. You lose sight of the road. There's that deer pen and deer feeder that we cut around when we first moved back in there. And then, if I remember right, I was trying to get down close enough to Mickey's loader to see if I could tell if the water was over the hubs, and I could. Every time I would get down, the trees would start interfering with the signal to the drone, and it would start losing connection. So that's what I was, if I remember right there, when it went back up, or maybe it's doing it here. But anyway, it lost connection with the drone, and it was trying to return back to me, and I was like, no, I'm not done yet. But you just see all the water. It's just amazing how much water was in there. If I'll ever pan back up, you can see. But you can see back here in the back, everywhere where we had been. It just, everything is floating. But the reason I think the water got as deep as it did at this flood stage, because it's not like it was a historic flood stage or anything like that. We've seen this flood stage numerous times, but there's so much debris preventing watershed like what we normally would have around here. You can see all the water. That big ridge where you see you got water, ground, and then water again, that big ridge is that big hill that we were cutting on last week back there. But everything is just, it's like a stopped up toilet. It's not flowing like it's supposed to, or a stopped up sink drain, you know, something like that. It's draining, but it's just draining slowly, and it's just not doing what it's supposed to do. So therefore, that's why I believe it backed up higher than anybody has ever seen it in these places before at this flood stage. I guess we should have caught on to that hint the other day whenever it was right at flood stage and it started putting water in areas where it should have been at a higher flood stage, you know. But this is only my second year working around this creek. Like we're working, it's a river, but they call it a creek. But it's just part of learning this territory to work in. Y'all can see all the water underneath the trees. This is that cut across road where we drove the rubber tire in. It was super deep right there. That was the deepest spot. Like I said, if I had to guess, I'd say at how deep it was the following day, how much it had dropped everywhere else, I would say the water was probably 7 foot deep, because it was about 4 to 5 foot deep. It was more like 5 foot deep at its deepest spot when we drove the rubber tire in there. And the water dropped immensely. But y'all can see all the water around the camps. The camps luckily did not get any water. It's crazy how much water come up, how close it got to those camps and everything. So as I said, we're back at the high line, flying back out now. There's a cell phone tower we're working right beside too. The track that we're cutting actually butts up to that field. If I remember right, I swing the drone. Yep. So this right here is where whenever we moved to the rabbit ranch and I showed y'all the corner, I told y'all I was at the corner, that open path right through the middle of your screen leading into that big clear area back there. That's that path that I cut to that back there, and then we opened everything up that we have so far back there. Not sure if we're going back to finish it. I would like to go complete the track. The landowners and everything, they told me that the storm that come through that flooded this, it tore even more trees down back there. So I feel like we need to go back in there and finish it. But anyway, we're bringing the drone down. Thank y'all so much for watching, and to the next video, we'll catch y'all next time.